Hey YouTube, Anthony here. Want to point you in a direction, and I'll post a link in the description box below. The name of the article is called "We the People Armed Are Too Big to Fail," and it's written by Jack Mullen. It's an activist post, and I want to point out a couple things in the article before I end this video. I thought it was it's not long, it's a short article, but I thought it was very well done. Events in America are taking a turn for the worst, and the story unfolding is nothing new. This movie has played out many times in history, and without protection, it's going to get very, very ugly. And I think you guys see that in a lot of my videos that I do on the gun control agenda, or the so-called assault weapons bans, and whatever the next greatest politician is peddling in their so-called crusade to defend children and stop crime. It's all a ruse, my friends. You got to keep that in the back of your mind, especially now that we can clearly see that there's many in the government that are just totally out of control, from the Department of Homeland Security buying nearly 2 billion rounds of ammo, causing an ammunition glut and a run on ammunition around the country, where people are fighting for ammunition. I was in Bass Pro Shop last week looking for some 22 ammo, and I got to talking to one of the clerks there that works there in the guns department, and he was saying that the other day there was literally like a riot in the store because one guy was trying to hoard all kinds of ammo and go above the 5-box limit, and like 2 other guys online beat the crap out of him. That's something you just don't want to see. That's true trouble on the horizon when people are fighting and nearly killing each other to buy ammo. And I think the government is deliberately creating this environment. But the article goes on to say, for a criminal government, gun control is a necessary step in advance of an economic collapse that cannot be avoided because it was deliberately created. I think he has a great point there. The treasonous perpetrators of financial calamity are stone cold scared of armed Americans possessing a growing knowledge of banker federal government crimes. They know these patriots will rise up and take their country back. That, my friends, is why there's such a push to disarm Americans. Don't let anyone fool you in the media, whether you hear it from a very well-respected general, a well-respected Democrat or Republican, an ex-Army vet. Do not believe them. They're being paid, they're being put out there, and there's another agenda that they're fighting for, and that's the disarmament agenda. Because an America disarmed, and he'll say in this article, is an America that commits suicide. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I wanted to just point out some of the bullet points that he points out in this article, where he says, evidence exists of accelerating plans for false flag events, gun confiscation, gold and silver confiscation, and military operations on American soil. Today I just read an article about 2,700 light armored vehicles being purchased by Department of Homeland Security and deployed in the United States. Now, what on earth are 2,700 armored vehicles going to be used for? Are they going to put them in the inner cities and go after the gangs that are destroying inner cities in their turf wars and drug wars? Are they going after the drug cartels? And I say this over and over again, no, they're not. Are they going up against, on the border, against the porous borders of illegal aliens pouring into this country? No, they're not. So read between the lines and think about who those 2,700 armored vehicles are for. Is it for just a show of force to scare Americans into giving up their firearms? Maybe that has a part in it. A quick look at the news verifies the criminals are showing their low-hole cards, he says in this article. Okay, I'll read the bullet points. Vets are getting letters telling them to turn in their guns. And these have links so you could go back and read the articles as well. A general offers military help with the gun control agenda. Gun control measures escalating at state levels and in the U.S. Congress. The government is warning of Al-Qaeda attacks, but is actively funding Al-Qaeda. Figure that one out, guys. Illinois prepares for a bill for registration of gold and silver. Registration is always before confiscation. This will likely be copied in other states. The feds announce interest in nationalizing retirement accounts. That should have everybody shaking in their boots, knowing that the money you and I saved in our 401ks or 403bs or whatever retirement accounts we have is actively being eyed by the government because they are out of money and looking for places to get money. Maybe some of our financial guys can tell us about how much is in retirement accounts in total. It's got to be in the high hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, I would guess. Where am I? The feds continue to purchase $85 billion in bonds every month. Gold and silver price suppression goes into hyperdrive as gold price falls while money printing escalates. This is direct opposite to the natural and expected effect of money printing. The VIX, or volatile exchange, I believe it is, has a one-day spike as the stock market remains at record highs in overbought conditions. Massive bets have been placed against the banking sector and the volatile market index. The Treasury bond bubble is showing cracks, and that's the largest bubble in recorded history that may soon burst. So my friends, when you read this article, prior to a financial collapse, which I think is looming on America, I think there's many in denial. I think there's many out there. The average everyday citizen has their head in the sand. They just won't come to grips with what can possibly happen. Some are waking up, but there's not enough. We're letting the government trample our rights. Once the Second Amendment is trampled, guys, once that Second Amendment is given up, you might as well tear up the Bill of Rights, because nothing will hold the other amendments together but the Second Amendment. We should take this very seriously, and we should make our collective voices be heard across the country whenever we can, even if it means taking off work, burning vacation days, whatever it is. We need to get involved and get active in taking this country back. Or else, I think one day, like I say over and over, we're going to wake up and it's going to be a different world from one day to the next, and we're going to be sad that we didn't take action sooner. With guns in our hands, we the people are a threat too big to fail, he says in the article, against any enemy, foreign or domestic. And that threat is what will keep the peace. He ends the article, willingly disarm and America dies by suicide. I'll put the article in the description box, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. As always, God bless and take care.